Scrappy Peep, Suzanna here today for a cherry on top, and I'm sharing with you this layout created using the Memory Lane collection from Fancy Pants, which is available over at the store. I am also using some bits and pieces left over from my bits and pieces dish that sits on my desk. I have this little dish that literally it has leftover labels, label bits, die cuts of leaves and things like that that I've cut out for other projects. And so I pulled, you can see on that top left hand corner there, just bits and pieces that are color coordinated with the colors that go in this collection. So this collection is probably intended to be a little bit more of a heritage collection, especially when you look at the embellishments that come with it, but it is perfect for fall as well because it's sort of got that really distressed, muted look to it. So I am using it to create this layout of this little fella. He's our new backyard visitor. We have named him, we have learned since I've recorded this that it is a him, but we named him Sam because Sam can go both ways. Sam can be a boy and Sam can be a girl, and we didn't know what he was until actually this morning, and so that is what this layout is about Sam, and it is, you can see that the pictures have very sort of rich fall colors to them, and so I thought this collection was perfect for that. So I have a 6x4 photo as well as two 2x2s, I believe they are. They might be 1 3/4, but square photos of Sam, our new visiting squirrel. And I am going to create a somewhat layered layout using the Memory Lane collection. So I had these bits and pieces of jute left over from a Simple Stories layout that I created that I didn't end up using, and I thought that they would be perfect on here. I'm just not sure. So you can see I've created a bunch of strips, 2 inches, 1 inch, and I think 1 3/4 inches. And I'm just going to notch them in order to create banners that are going to provide layers behind the photo there. I wanted a variety of colors as well as obviously heights, and then I wanted different edges that go over the right hand edge as well as different lengths that over the left hand edge there. And you can see as I was cutting out those strips while I was talking that I didn't go necessarily with the colors that I thought I was going to go with, but just again, you really needed that white in order to get a little bit of pop of brightness, because otherwise everything is sort of flat. I could have inked the edges of these banners to make them stand out a little bit more, as well as I could have stitched around them. So just trying to give you options when you are creating, if you decide to scrap lift this or the format of it. But I opted not to, more for simplicity's sake and time's sake than anything else. I feel like I've got that really dominant navy blue up the top there, and so I feel that by putting this other banner that goes off the edge, I create a little bit of balance between the top and the bottom of the layout, as well as sort of mute that navy blue at the top there. I am also going to cut a very thin strip of that blue and put that down the bottom. I'm going to end up doing that off camera, but I really need that for the balance and creating that balance, especially given the amount of black that are in those square photos there. So when I printed the 6x4 photo, I was trying to follow the rule of thirds in that you don't want the subject to be in the center. And so I could have gone square with the photo, but the hose really bothered me. And so putting those square photos up the top there really covered that up and gave me more of the height that I wanted in the layout, as well as a way of covering those up. So you can see I'm pulling from the stash of bits and pieces over there on the left. I have a few embellishments, or I have embellishments from the collection, but I just pulled the few that I thought might be able to go with kind of more this nature theme, as well as the color scheme as well. And so you can see I've got that moth. I love how it adds a little bit more of that yellow / brown, sort of mustardy yellow to the collection. I love that little shot of green. While there isn't a whole lot of green in the collection itself, it goes with the green that's in the photo there. And you can see I also have my Tim Holtz, my favorite heritage Tim Holtz label that debosses the label. That was actually one of my practice runs to just see what the label looked like before I added color. And I actually really like just the texture that it adds, as well as in this particular layout, it adds a lot of white. It needs more white to kind of perk things up. It's that brightness that it brings to the layout. So I have figured out where all of those things are going to go, and so then it's time to just stick everything down. I am going to tell you that off camera I am actually going to add to this. So the title will be thickers that are just from my collection that have been sitting there. Those are really old. I am going to move the moth where it's sitting on that right hand side there over to the left hand side. You'll see in the close-ups, as well as use another label that's been sitting. It's that little pink label that's sitting at the top of the star there. I'm going to use that on the top right, layered with a piece of chipboard, as well as a chipboard heart, both of which come from a previous cherry box collection, the 49th and Market's vintage one. And so I'm going to add those just two little details to the layout off camera. So, you know, when you have those little bits and pieces, they always come in handy for other things. So don't throw them away. Don't give them away. Just kind of hold on to them. And when their time is right, when it's time to be used, you'll know. And so that is going to wrap it up. This collection is available over in the shop, and I will link you to that in the description box down below. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Thanks for stopping in today. I hope you're doing well. Come back again soon. Take care.